I realized that I might have a passion for science communication at a pretty young age when I was in middle school. My uncle is a physics teacher, and he took me to the Tokamak Fusion Test Facility at Princeton University. I got to tag along on a class trip that he had organized there. And this was huge for a young budding science nerd. I got to actually talk to PhD physicists who were working at a huge test lab. I got to ask them about all these nerdy little aspects of how they were trying to make fusion reactions happen, how they shaped all the different magnetic functions that kept this super hot fusion plasma from going through the bottom of the floor of their lab. And it was really fascinating for me, and it was a really cool glimpse into what it could be to be a scientist. Then at the end of the tour guide told us we were so lucky to have come by the facility that day because it might not be there very soon. It might not be there by the end of the year. And we all asked, well, why? We don't understand. Why would you get rid of this awesome test lab? And he said, it's congressional funding. Congress might cut funding for this lab. And that was a huge aha moment for me as a really young person, and as a young person whose family is very civically minded and absolutely talks about politics at the dinner table and has been canceling each other's votes out at various elections for a couple generations, I realized that the civic world that people talked about around me actually has an impact and an effect on the scientific community, and that doing science and that participating in science doesn't necessarily mean being a scientist. There's this whole group of people out in society like me who are doing science communication who can help the scientific community convey what they're doing and why it's important to audiences, the public, the media, policymakers, you name it. The nice thing about that facility is it is still running and operating. It still has federal funding. Of course, it's Princeton, New Jersey, so for a lot of years, their representative in Congress was one of the very few physicists, became a member of Congress, Rush Holt, who is now executive director over at the American Association for the Advancement of Science. But I like telling that story because it's incredible to me that I got to have that aha moment at such an early age, and I feel really lucky and really fortunate that I'm able to work with so many talented scientists to help them bring their research to broader audiences.